T. I've chosen time, but I want to kind of put it into context of the things that are actually going on at the moment in the world. I don't think it matters which generation you're in. I think, the ups and downs of the world is there are going to be a crisis all over the place. So the heading for this one is, crisis, what crisis? All I can do is give you the benefit of my own personal experience. I've been around on this planet for just over 60 years. I think it'll be my fourth recession in my career. The biggest thing that stands out for me that is comparable to this was the winter of discontent, was 3-day weeks, was studying for exams at the age of 20, 21 by candlelight, having bodies piled up in mortuaries because the grave diggers weren't digging graves. The rubbish was piling up in the streets because the binmen weren't collecting the rubbish. And the country was in complete disarray and nobody had any idea where it was going. And they were really tough times. But now it's a story that I tell my kids and I tell young people that I'm working with. And that made me really think about where our priorities are at the moment when we think about time. I read recently that if you were born in 1900, there were a whole series of things that you had to deal with. Yeah, we're in challenging times at the moment. Yes, it's tough. But if you were born at the turn of the century, by 1914 was the start of the First World War, one of the most horrific wars ever, known as the Great War. By the time you got to being 18 years old, that war was just coming to an end. And as that war came to an end, then there was the 1918 pandemic of Spanish flu that we needed to contend with. And then you got into the 1920s and the early 1930s and the Great Depression and the poverty and the disease and things that everybody had to deal with then. Then in 1939, we had the start of the Second World War, which was over in 1945, but there was also the Holocaust. So the heading for this one is, crisis, what crisis? All I can do is give you the benefit of the old Chinese proverb of a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Just take the next step. Don't look for big wins, look for small wins. What can you achieve today? What can you make happen today? What can you do with your time? Where are your priorities? We all had the same 168 hours in a week. As we move through these tough times, start every day and make the right choices. Be comfortable with your choices. And if you make a mistake, when you wake up the next day, correct the mistake and move forward again. So this one is T for time. The time is now. It's all about priorities. Take the next step forward. Keep taking the next step forward and look for small wins. So I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers.